Guys, this is Courtney with Specially Adapted. I wanted to show you my new water cycle unit for autism and special education, and to show you what all is included in the unit. So whenever you download the file, it'll be a zipped file, and you will get all of the goodies that are in here. And I wanted to show you the different things that are included. So the first thing we'll look at are the two leveled books. You have a level A and a level B. Level A is the easiest level, and then level B has a little bit of extra words and goes a little more in depth, but it describes the water cycle in a way that students with disabilities would be able to understand. So you can see this is level A. It goes through all of the main types of the main parts of the water cycle. Okay, and you can see the difference with level B here, up to the top. You can see it just has a little more explanation in this version. And in that book, we're using the pictures for the vocabulary for the unit. What I oftentimes did in my classroom was I would send this home at the beginning of the week, the first week that I did the unit on whatever science or social studies topic I was working on. And that just helped them understand the words a little bit better, get used to seeing the symbols that we were going to use to be able to talk about it and read about that topic. So I would send home homework sometimes that went along with these vocabulary words, and then we would do things in class as well. So you have 9 different vocabulary words there. You also have a matching game. So it's similar to that first page, except it doesn't have the words on it. So you can make 2 copies of this and cut out the pictures, laminate if you want, turn the cards over and play a matching game. Whenever the students make a match, they have to say the word, or for higher level students, you can have them explain the definition of the word. If you wanted to mix it up and use one with the words, so print out 1 copy of this and 1 copy of this to have a matchup, you can do that as well. I also include just a blank copy with the pictures. This way you can use this for testing if you want, flashcards, however you see fit to use them. For the vocabulary, you also have matching. So for students who are able to read, they can match up the picture symbol with the word on this. If that's a little hard for your kiddos or some of them, you can use this level where you're just matching the pictures that already have the words. You've then got a page where they can write their vocabulary words if they need to trace. A good thing to do is to write in highlighter in the box, and then they can trace over that, or if you use Preview or a similar thing to look at PDFs, you can just go in and add text wherever you want if you have a font that has like the dots that they trace over. Then you've got your vocabulary test. If you give that at the end of the week or at the end of the month, if the students can write, they can write the word that goes along with the picture, or you can show the picture and then make notes of their response method and whether or not they got it correct. Okay, we'll go to our diagram. This is good to laminate and add Velcro to, and then you use the words down here, you cut them out, add Velcro to these as well, and then the kids can match them up. So you've got 2 different versions. One just has the 3 main parts of the water cycle, your evaporation, condensation, and precipitation, and then one adds in runoff and collection. So it's just according to what you're really wanting to focus on with your kids. We have the same thing with some coloring sheets. that are very similar to those diagrams. You have one that just has the 3 main parts and one that has 5 parts on the diagram, and then you can talk about what to put in those blanks as a class. Okay, I've also included a Keynote and PowerPoint template, so you get both of those, so it'll be easy for you to access whichever type of computer you use. For me, I use a Mac, so Keynote's what I use. But this is just a template, so it doesn't have any words in it, and the background are just images all together with the wording and everything, so everything will open up good with the fonts. You don't have to worry about downloading certain fonts, but this just gives you a template to follow that you can add in the words that your students would best understand. So you've got water is everywhere, people need water, people use water, water on earth, water moves, evaporation, transpiration, condensation, precipitation, runoff, and collection. And you can use that just to teach as you go along. We also have a couple of math activities, graphing. So doing a pie chart, students' favorite weather. You've got your symbols here to support understanding, and then some questions to go along with the graph. Then you have tally and bar graph. So you've got all the different images, they tally in the little chart below, then write the total number and graph on the bar graph. One of my favorite things is the science experiment, a visual science experiment. You have your materials, you go through the 5 steps of the scientific method. They're able to make a hypothesis, go through the steps of the experiment, record their data, and then come to a conclusion, be able to answer some practical questions to generalize the knowledge and review some definitions. We then have a life skills activity. So you've got types of precipitation. You can print out these little boards and laminate if you want. And then you have, so it's different types of precipitation, and then down below you have pictures that show those different types. You cut those out and the students will sort onto the different boards to show what type of precipitation it is. And the last thing that's included is a page that just has additional resources. Excuse me. So these were just things that I found useful whenever I was teaching through the water cycle. Some videos, some books, and just some different activities that I found to be good that I thought you might like as well. So that is the water cycle unit from Specially Adapted. I hope you enjoy.